Well, hello, my friends, and welcome to Here with the Magic. I'm Jason Knapp. On today's show, it's a special show. We're doing it live, as Carlos would say. I'm not putting that video up. Don't worry. It is so good to see you guys. It is so exciting and nerve-wracking, and I'm not in a tuxedo, Zach. Just a minute before I start, I look at my messages, which you shouldn't do before you go live. I look at my messages, and nice guy Zach Brown sends me a message saying, I half expect you to show up in a tuxedo. And I'm like, this is like, you can't suggest that at the last minute. Now I feel underdressed. Anyway, it is so wonderful to see so many friends here. I want to play Romper Room a little bit, but I also kind of want to get to the good stuff. So just know I'm so glad to have you guys here with me tonight on this Monday evening, special night, because tonight's the night I'm going to reveal the big thing that a lot of you, most of you, didn't even know was coming, which is kind of the best kind of surprise, actually. Today I'm going to do the reveal. I'm going to make you wait a little bit for it, not like an hour. I'm going to make you wait just a little bit because we're going to go back in time. Just a little bit. We're going to go back in time, do a little review, talk about how we got here, talk about the why behind the thing that I'm going to be revealing. And I hope you like it. I think you will. We'll see. So first things first. It's important to go back in time for a couple of reasons. We're going to go back, like way back in time. We're going to go back a little short time as well. And you'll understand when we get to the other side of this. I wanted to kind of re-explain, or maybe explain for the first time, if you haven't heard the story before, why Here with the Magic even exists. Why it was a thing. And to properly explain that, I have to go back and tell a little bit of my story, and explain, what it was about. I'm not going to go into detail of what I love about Disney. You've heard me wax poetic about why I love Disney and why I love things that resonate with the spirit of Disney. You know that deal. But what I wanted to do is kind of go back and talk about what the inspiration was for Here with the Magic, because the inspiration actually started a long time ago, a long time ago. I know. It's not the most flattering picture of Dopey, who happens to be my favorite Disney character, as a lot of you know. This was me with Dopey back in 1976, my first trip to Walt Disney World, and it's probably the moment I fell in love with Dopey. I'm going back here because this was my first trip to Walt Disney World. I wouldn't visit again until 10 years later, 1986. And during that period of time, like a lot of you, I was just, always craving Disney stuff. And not just Disney stuff, but like Disney parks, right? I wanted to be back in the parks. I wanted to be back in Walt Disney World. I wanted to be back, in that special place that kind of gives me all the warm feelings inside and so forth. And I wanted to, just be there. And part of that process, and I know it's going to resonate with a lot of you. Part of that process was just in the planning, and not even the planning, because when you're a kid, you're not planning as much as you're kind of dreaming, right? But so for me, back then, we didn't have YouTube, we didn't have the internet, we had a lot of things. We didn't have a lot of things. We had these kinds of things. Like we had brochures. You remember those brochures? Pieces of paper that you would sit around the house or places, and then you could like pick it up and dream a little dream about being back in Walt Disney World. Remember that? It was so lovely. But that's kind of what you had. You had the stuff that maybe you got when you're in Walt Disney World. Kelly, I'm looking at you. I know you got like a bag full of these brochures that I'm talking about. You had, a little bit. Well, these weren't really like official planning type things, but another way that I dreamed about Walt Disney World and other places, but particularly Walt Disney World, was the Viewmasters. Do you remember the Viewmasters? Some of you are like, I don't know what he's talking about. Those look like binoculars of some kind. I don't know what that is. No, my goodness, the Walt Disney World and also the Disneyland Viewmaster slides, the reels. Do you remember those? I even had a talking Viewmaster. I don't know what happened to that. It was not a fever dream. It was a real thing. But I love the Viewmasters, and you could look through it, and it was in 3D, and you could feel like you were right there. You see where I'm going with this? Okay. And then we also had, years passed, and we got to the planning books and the commemorative books and things like that. And that Walt Disney World book, the green one, was one that I think got in 1986. Of course, there was the Birnbaum's Guide, and then there were all the wonderful things that you could read through. Even if you were, if you're the person I'm talking about, just raise your hand, give me a like, send me a signal, just so I don't feel like I'm alone. But you know what I'm saying? When you have the guide, you go to the book. Remember when we go to the bookstores? We would go to the bookstores, and they had these things called bookstores. You go to the bookstore and you would pull the book to Disney. Of course, you go to the Disney section. I know there's other travel stuff there, but you're really focusing on Disney. And you pull the travel book off. You pull Birnbaum's or the unofficial guide or something, and you read it, and maybe you buy it. You have no intention of going, or maybe you have every intention of going, but no means. And so you just, you're planning your trip, your make-believe trip, because that's what you could do. That's all we had, and the occasional Disney special on television. Something like that. And, around that time, people would start lugging around the big VHS cassette recorders and take, videos that way. And, of course, we're all taking pictures. Slides. You remember slides? My mother has like a big box of slides somewhere from our 1986 trip. And then these came out. And I kind of missed the moment for these, but they became popular, late, was it 90s and the early 2000s, but the VHS planning tapes. I did get a couple of them, but it's kind of the same idea. These were exciting though, because this was something you could pop in your VCR. Remember VCRs? And then you could watch, they would talk about Disney World and all the things, and it was kind of a nice, lengthy, but not lengthy enough, never lengthy enough, nice lengthy video about all the stuff, right? And it was kind of like, not like being there, but it was closer than a brochure. It was definitely closer than a brochure. I'm going to look at the comments just to see if people still with me. Are people still with me? Okay. Yeah. Kevin says, we definitely know. Okay, good. As long as Kevin's with me, I'm good. I'm happy. Jimmy, who should be here by now, swoop. Great to see you. Okay. So let me get this off the screen. All right. So in 2018, remember 2018? In 2018, Michelle, who's here? Good to see my lovely wife, Michelle. Michelle and my boys, we moved from California, which is not where we're from originally. I'm not going to get into all of that, Mary. I'm not going to get into all of that, Butch. We moved from California to Walt Disney World, essentially. Practically, right? And that's a story for another day in terms of the why. But what's important to know is that it wasn't with the intention of doing any of this stuff. I kid you not. It wasn't with that intention. The intention was to just be closer to the place that brings me joy, because that's so important, right? Funny thing happened in 2018, or in 2019 rather. 2019, and I don't have it. I'll post it in our Facebook group later. Oh, by the way, because I can do this, I haven't done this in a while. If you're not familiar with the Facebook group, head over to herewiththemagic.com/community. Join in the conversation. I'll post the video there. It was the first video that I would consider a true Here with the Magic video. But it didn't exist. Here with the Magic didn't exist. I just started filming these moments around Walt Disney World. These moments that I don't know, they just resonated with me, and I wanted to keep them. And I was explaining this to a friend of mine when he was with me one day showing, I was like doing some filming down from Geyser Point in that area of Bay Lake. And he just said, you should put some of those up on YouTube or something. People would probably like it. And there we go. And so over the summer of 2019, I started doing a thing. I started filming and filming and filming and filming. And as some of you may recall, this came in September. I could help myself to put Greg's comment up, and it filmed and it filmed and it filmed. I have to say the deluge after that. Anyway, so that started, and at first it was I think it was like three videos per week, and they were almost all. I would say 85%. Is that precise enough for you, Marcus? I think like 85% were filmed in virtual reality format of some sort. Now, moving forward, we advance into 2020. Remember 2020? 2020 rolls around, and I'll never forget the day when we were in Epcot. I was actually filming in Epcot, and then that's the day we found out that the parks were going to close because of the pandemic, and they were going to be closed for a couple of weeks. And I freaked out a little bit. Like, what do you mean they're going to be closed for a couple of weeks? I'm churning videos out every week. What do you mean? Oh yeah. And I know it's also terrible that it's closed, but what about me? Anyway. And then 2 weeks became 3 weeks, and you know the drill. You know what happened. Didn't reopen until July. And it was tough. However, by that point, I had filmed at least and released, I think it was something like 80 videos by that point. And so, I was like, well, I'll try to point people to them. And I'm talking to my friend and mentor, Lou Mangello. And he says to me, you should go live. Of course, he says this to me. You should go live and remember, up until this point, I don't even exist, right? You don't even know who Jason is because it wasn't about me. It's always about the spaces. It's always about the places. I don't want to get in the way of the experience. But Lou says, no, you should go live at lunchtime. And you should, and I go, well, what am I going to do? He's like, well, you should show the videos. I said, what? He said, yeah. You should show the videos. And I said, then what? He's like, you just show the video. Then it's like a watch party. So I said, so you want me to go live and show a previously recorded video and watch it with other people who I don't know? Yes, that's precisely what you should do. And so I did. That's kind of uncomfortable, isn't it? And thus the lunch break was born. And that's how he got it. Then it was just like a slippery slope. And the lunch break, we lost count. It's something we used to count. Remember, Zach, when we would count how many lunch breaks there were? And then we just stopped counting because it became so many. So the parks though finally reopened. And it was a wonderful thing to have the videos, right? It was a wonderful thing to have the videos, and it was even a more wonderful thing to have the community, to kind of, to be able to connect with one another and to connect about the places that we love, and to kind of be back in our happy place again, after so long. And then finally, when the doors reopened to the kingdom, we were able to start filming again. And it's what Mary said. Mary says, the return is what makes me cry. I think she meant the return. I don't think she meant the return of it. Anyway, this was like this joyful moment, but it was also this emotionally difficult moment because for so many people, we were able to get back to the parks. We were able to go, not as easy as we once were. Hello, reservation system. Hello, annual pass situation, all the things. But for a lot of people, even folks who would have gone, previously went regularly, even people from far away, Great British Mickey Waffle folks, you know who you are. It was tough, and they couldn't even get into the country. Remember that? Couldn't even get into the country. It was so painful to I think for some people to be able to see others going, but they themselves not be able to go, even more so than before, And so what we were doing is with the Magic became even more important. It became more relevant because this wasn't just about this thing that, I'm just taking these videos because I'm filming these videos because I like to have these videos and these moments. I'm not just filming these videos and sharing them with people who are, I don't know, kind of strange like me and like this watch non-attraction videos, just moments of calm in Disney spaces. But it was also important to be able to bring people to those spaces who couldn't be there. It was more important than ever, even as much as during the closing, maybe even more important than during the closing, was to be able to bring people here who desperately wanted to be here, and to do so as immersively as possible, which has always been the goal of Here with the Magic. And we have been experimenting, right? We started with the films, and then we went from virtual reality to doing some more traditional stuff, and then we did the lunch breaks. You remember we talked about the lunch breaks, then more videos, and then a certain nice guy, Zach Brown, joined the club, and certain Krista Rosso joined the club. And about 6 months after that sort of return video you just saw premiered, about 6 months later, spring of 2021, we started doing this. The idea behind the Morning Minutes was to provide people everywhere, wherever they are, in the morning, yes, the evening, sure, but really any time. When you needed a moment of just to pause and step away, which we talk about a lot, pause and step away and be in your happy place. Happy places that aren't just about Disney, and that we had started, venturing out into the world and connecting and highlighting places around the world that are also full of the spirit of Disney. And Disney people know what I mean when I say that. Non-Disney people look at me funny, but that's okay. A lot of people look at me funny for other reasons. It's just sometimes you need that moment. And this was like a little amuse-bouche delivery system of these moments. And we did more than 300 of these before we took a pause so we could focus on some other projects we're going to talk about. And they're still available, and they're still here on the YouTube channel. And I'd love for you to check them out. And you never know. They might come back. They probably will come back. But there's a lot. There's so many. To pick from. It's just a nice way to take a moment out of your day to kind of recenter yourself. Okay. Then about 6 months after that, because we always again thinking, okay, what's the next thing? What is the next thing? We've done the videos, and we did live shows, and we engage with community, of course, and we have now putting out the Morning Minutes. What's the next thing? What else can we do to reach people? Well, there's a whole bunch of people who don't really watch the videos. They don't engage in the community, and they're not getting to be kind of in their happy place as much as they'd like to be. I know, because I was one of those people. I listened to the WDW radio show. I said it fine that time. I listened to Lou Mongello's WDW radio show, like his podcast, every week religiously since 2007. And it was my it was one of the main links back to Walt Disney World for a long time for me. I remember it was the first thing I would listen to when I would go for hikes when I lived in Colorado. It was, on my playlist for when I would go for a walk in California. And it kind of helped me be connected, but there were never enough. And there wasn't anything existing that at least it didn't do it well enough. Sorry for all those who do something similar, but it did. Like, I wanted to be in my happy place, but in a way that my videos put me or put other people into our happy places, right? In a sort of quiet, in a way that, even if it's not quiet, in a way that just kind of gets me out of the way, and you can just be there, right? You can just be there. So that's when we came up with this. So Soundscapes was born out of this idea that, hey, there's a whole bunch of people who, they're driving, they're hiking, walking the dog, taking the trash out, hanging out, all the things. And well, we have a lot of audio. Happens to be binaural audio because we like to record our audio to be immersive, remember? So this is, sounds of our happy places, from our happy places that make us feel as if we're there. If you've listened to a Soundscapes, you know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't, I invite you to check it out wherever you get your podcasts. Look for Soundscapes by Here with the Magic. And so, okay, so we did that. And then we doubled down last summer. We stopped doing, we took a pause and stopped, and we changed. I know I irritated a lot of you. I understand, because change is hard. But I think it paid off, because we came up with a lot of cool stuff when we did this. Hello, my friends. I'm Jason Knapp with Here with the Magic, and welcome to, well, something new. So I tend to get bored with things. We tend to need, like, what are we going to do next? What are we going to, and Zach looks at me like, can't we just take a moment? Maybe watch a few morning minutes, Jason? Did you ever think of that? What do we do next? Well, it turns out actually the next thing was we'd already started on the next thing by the time Here with the Magic, the show, came out. Because it turns out I wasn't satisfied with what we had done. I wasn't satisfied with the videos. I wasn't satisfied with the morning minutes. I wasn't satisfied with the shows or with the amazing content that I think like we've done. Patting myself on the shoulder. I know, on the back. Dude, pat yourself on the shoulder. You're patting yourself on the back. Anyway, we've done some pretty cool stuff. And Zach, nice guy Zach Brown, man, he's done an incredible lift, not just with the content you've seen, but with the stuff you're about to see. You see, all this time, over my 50 years almost, okay, if you're in the UK, it would, but if over almost 50 years of being here and on my almost 47 years of just being in love with the Disney parks, the Disney spaces, nothing could. I thought to myself, what would 3-year-old Jason want, or 13-year-old Jason, or even 30-year-old Jason? What would I have wanted? If I could have had, what would I have wanted? The virtual reality videos are great, yes, but it's a very passive experience. It's about, yes, I'm in the space in virtual reality, and if you've done it, you know what I mean. And if you haven't, you should try it. It's really cool. But it's somebody else who did this filming, and you're just kind of going along for the ride. And the shows are fun because we have the community and we can do the thing. We're able to do a lot of cool production related, post-production related things that make it just more informational, more educational, it's like edutainment. It didn't quite get us there. Soundscapes is great. I love it, but it's also a passive experience. How could we get to the next step? How could we get to the next level where we provided kind of the same things that we were already good at doing, but get you involved. Get you involved in what comes next. And that, my friends, is what I'm here to reveal. That's right. I too, yes, I was a child of the 80s and the 70s. And I love the choose your own adventure concepts. And it was about a year ago that Henry, my son Henry, introduced me to a YouTuber. I don't know, that's a weird thing to say. That he followed who had put together this amazing sort of fictional story. This fictional storyline that was this choose your own adventure story within YouTube. It was amazing, and we spent like 2 days. It was the whole weekend just watching these and kind of going down all the different paths. And Henry, in his normal Henry fashion, like mapped it all out, like the different paths that we took. And I was like, this is incredible. It's insane how much work this person put into this. And then I don't know. Zach may have marked the calendar, but then I remember saying to Zach, I have an idea. I think we should do a choose your own adventure type thing. How hard could it be? How hard could it be? Well, it turns out it takes about a year. And it takes an incredibly patient and also talented, nice guy Zach Brown, to do an enormous amount of heavy lifting and also some light lifting. And I am so excited to show this to you, because it is not just the culmination of a year's worth of work. It is the culmination of the next step in the direction that I sort of started to move in 2019, and that is this helping you and helping me be in our happy place when we can't be there, and be there in a way that kind of merges all the things together. The videos, of course, the sounds, the soundscapes, because of course everything has to be in binaural sound, three-dimensional sound, like you're there. Of course it does. The planning tapes. Yes, I want to see the attractions too. There are times where I just want to kind of relax and just maybe stroll around, and there's times where I want to enjoy attractions. There are times when I may want to look at something, investigate for an upcoming trip, and see, like, is this something I maybe want to do? Maybe there's a child coming along, and you don't know if that's going to freak them out or not. Maybe we can show it to them in advance. Maybe we can convince somebody who isn't yet sold on Disney World that this is something that they should consider doing. And this is the first step. And I'm excited to share it with you. But before I do, this is what's gonna happen. We're gonna dive in. I'll drive it. I'm gonna take you on a little tour, show you some things. I'm gonna need your help. Because here's the deal. I need you to put in the comments things you might want to see. Not like in the future. I mean, like today. If you were here with us in the park virtually, where would you go? Where would you go next? Okay? Because you'll get your turn to drive as soon as this is finished. And I will put up the link, I promise, for where you can find this. So we're going to dive in. And when it's finished, please, I know you're going to be excited to try it out, which I hope you're excited to try it out. But don't go too far, because I do want to talk to you about some of the things that we already have planned to plus it, the things that are going to come next. Because, it's me, it's Jason, and that's what we do. Okay, you ready? Are you ready to dive in? You're not going to be able to see me. You'll be able to hear me. For anybody who comes to this late and has never been here before, we'll have to help them along so they know what's going on. All right, let's. Mary says Country Bears. Is she the only person who says? Do people really go to see the Country Bears? It's a good thing, Zach. It's a good thing. Oh wait, I put the wrong. You're not supposed to see that yet. Hold on, hold on. Here it is, the demo. This is it. Okay. I was seeing this screen, and I'm like, wait, why am I seeing this screen? It's because this is actually where it begins. This is totally where it begins. You ready? Let's do it. So we get to this first screen, and if you can't hear anything yet, it's because you're not supposed to hear anything. But when you are supposed to hear something, you'll need to tell me, hey, I can't hear, if you can't hear. Okay, so I'm gonna just actually let this roll, because if you don't do anything, that's the nice thing about this Choose Your Own Adventure. Unlike any of the other Choose Your Own Adventures on YouTube that I have found, this is also allows you to be passive if you want to be. If you just want to let it roll, if you don't want to engage, which I don't know, you should engage at least a little bit. But if you don't want to, or if you miss a step, it's okay. It won't throw you out. It'll just continue and choose for you. leave us yet? Okay, here we are at the front, the entrance plaza to the Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World. And this is where the adventure will always begin, appropriately enough. And look, don't give me a hard time that we're going on the left side. In a future release, you'll be able to choose whether you want to go in the left side or the right side. So for now, we're going to go in the left side. And I saw somebody say Country Bears. So how would you get to the Country Bears? If you're going to Country Bears, how would you get there? How would you do? Would you walk down Main Street and around the hub? And would you go through Adventureland? Would you go through Liberty Square? Would you take the train around to Frontierland now that you can take the train? How would you get there? That's right. I'm waiting for you to tell me. I'm waiting for the comments. There's a bit of a delay, but that's okay. We can walk down Main Street. Oh, there's a trolley here. Oh, we could take a trolley. I would recommend not taking this particular trolley today because it's a little ring-a-ding-dingy. Marcus says left is where the popcorn is. I know I can't give you food. So here you go. Here's your choice. You could take the railroad. You could take the trolley, or you could just keep walking. The nice thing about this is we can pause. Unlike real life, we get to pause and say, okay, well, what do I want to do? Which way do I want to go? I see walk through Liberty Square. I see Colton says go through Adventureland. I see, other people say Adventureland. Okay, we can go through Adventureland. You want to go through Adventureland? Well, so we'll just walk. We'll just walk. That means we're not gonna do anything. We're just gonna keep walking straight. For those of you who played Dragon Slayer, you remember that? 80s guy was so bad at it because the reaction time was always just not right. You'll get a little bit of those feels with this, where depending on what you chose or didn't choose, there's a little bit of a hesitation between the scenes, but that's just normal. It's a feature, not a bug. Kevin says snacks along the way dictate the direction. Oh, if you wanted to go down Center Street and explore Center Street, you could do that right here. And if you're on a computer, as you can see up here in the top window, there's a little return to town square option there. If you're watching your television, you probably won't see this option. But if you're watching on a computer or on a device, those little iCards should pop up to give you some more options for navigation. Greg says, watch out for the spinning camels and high-end video. Yeah, right? I love that line. I could have already done with in this British accent. Okay, so we're going to... I heard everybody say they wanted to go to... I think we're headed to Country Bears. Is that right? We're going to Country Bears, but by way of Adventureland? Is that right? Okay, so our option is toward Adventureland or toward Tomorrowland. We're going to select toward Adventureland here. And I see that there's this Adventureland, not Adventureland. There's this Choose Your Own Adventure bug up. I'm going to move that out of the way. That's not usually there. Oh, we don't miss our turn. Turn to Adventureland. Oh, we could continue toward the castle. No, but we're going into Adventureland. Let me get rid of this. Boop. Okay, that's gone. Oh, we could go right to Liberty Square if we want to take the bridge across to Liberty Square, but we're going to keep going straight. Or we could go back to the hub if we changed our minds. Maybe we forgot somebody back there. We could turn around. There are these opportunities to turn around from time to time, even if you're watching on a television. Or you can just go in a circle. It is a big loop after all. The weather was perfect, which is also part of the... Remember, this wasn't all filmed in a day. This was filmed over many, 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 many days. So it was important to wait for the weather to be similar and the lighting to be similar. Yeah. Oh, the treehouse. Oh, I know. It's hard for me to pass the treehouse. We're going to keep going past the treehouse this time. We're on a mission. What do you think so far? Are you enjoying it? It's fun? Good? Thanks, Lisa. Thanks, Jody. Yeah, you could get on a treadmill if you wanted to get on a treadmill. Susie. Oh, this is a big decision point here. You got a lot coming at you. You got Jungle Cruise. You have the Aladdin's Magic Carpets. You have... Let's go back to the treehouse. There's that other... Oh, there's that other attraction coming up. Marcus, thank you. Again, remember, everything's in binaural sound. It may not translate this way, sort of third party. You might be able to hear it if you're wearing headphones right now. But certainly when you are playing this at home or work, you want to wear headphones for the kind of more complete immersion. It's not necessary, though. Yes, we could get on Pirates. We're not going to get on Pirates. We're going to keep going because we're on a mission. Something important I want to show you up around the corner anyway. Karen says Sean keeps asking to stop at things. You can, yeah, that's right. When you're driving it, you can stop at things. You can also make comments within each individual video. If you ever encounter any problems, or maybe you have an idea or something, go ahead and leave a comment there in the video. Of course, you can always message me directly too, but It's easy enough to leave a comment there right within the video. If something doesn't work the way you think it's supposed to work. Okay, so here's this important moment. Coming up here. Actually, you know what? I may pause it. Let me just pause this for a second and come back here. All right, so we'll go back in a second. Here's the thing. What you're about to see, at least, there in the distance, doesn't exist anymore. And that's one of the really cool things about this experience. And that's one of the cool things about moving forward. Because what we're about to enter, transition from Adventureland into Frontierland. And as you know, Splash Mountain is no more. For better or for worse, Tiana's is coming, and I am excited about it. Not just because of the beignets and the restaurants, but also I think the attraction is going to be spectacular. But every once in a while, you're going to want some Splash Mountain in your life. And so in the future, like right now, you get Splash Mountain here and choose your own adventure. But in the future, when Tiana's is there, you'll get to choose your experience. You get to choose, do you want to experience Frontierland with Splash Mountain there? Do you want to experience that moment in time, or do you want to experience a more recent or future? Now it's future, but it won't be then. Moment in time where Tiana's is there. And we're going to do more of that throughout the park, and I'll talk more about that in a bit. Let's head back. So here we have the option to go to Splash Mountain, towards Splash Mountain. We're going to go, I think we're going right, correct? We're going towards Country Bears? Is that the plan? Okay. We have an option there to go to the left towards Big Thunder Mountain if we wanted. Oh, I think we're coming up on our spot. Oh, we are. Country Bears, are we heading in? Are we heading in? We're going to do this? We have to make a choice. We have to. They look so excited to see us. I think we have to go. I think we have to go in. I think we have to go in. And I promise you this is a Country Bears experience like you've never had.
Give me a little intro there, Gomer. Howdy, folks. Welcome to the one and only original Country Bear Jamboree, featuring a bit of Americana, our musical heritage of the past. And right now, I give you a sorted assortment of executioners of music and song. The Five Bear Runs. Get it, boys? The Bears will play now in the good old key of G. Zeke and Zeb and Ted and Fred and a bear named Tennessee. Zeke's twanging on banjo and a tapping with his feet, a banging on the dishpan with a real old country beat. Zeb the song on the fiddle with a crooked hickory bow. When the spirit moves that ruin, he can make that piddle go. Brother Ted is on corn jump. Now I mean that bear can blow. He also plays the washboard with the handle on the hoe. And Big Fred's playing mouth harp. He plays it kind of sad. He never took a lesson. He just picked it up from Dad. And little old Tennessee Bear is featured on the thing. Sounds just like a guitar, but it's only got one string. So clap your hands and stomp your feet and try to keep right with it. One short thing the Bear Band's got is real old country rhythm.
One night I left the wife at home and went out with the boys. I was acting like a drunk one and making a lot of noise. Go girl called my hand. I said, I can't, I'm a married man. She said, if you ain't gonna steal, you better not prowl. Don't do with the go. If you can't bite, don't growl. If you can't bite, don't growl.
And now, a heart-rendering ditty by our own growler of song, Liver Lips McGraw. Sing it, Mac.
I've got a woman, she's got me. Whatever we do, we both agree. She ain't pretty, but I ain't too. The things we like and the things we do. A woman ain't pretty, but she don't swear none. She's kinda heavy, don't weigh a ton. She's my woman through and through. I love her only 'cause her heart is true.
Mama don't whoop little Buford. Mama don't pound on his head. Mama don't whoop little Buford. I think you should shoot him instead. Bang! Yes, folks, we only have high-class stuff on this show. And now, here's a special treat out of Tampa. Our own Trixie.
Tears will be the chaser for your wine. After you leave this love of mine, bright lights at taverns, that's where you'll spend your time, and tears will be the chaser for your wine.
How long is forever? How soon is now or never? How long will these heartaches linger on? And how long will my baby be gone?
Now, here they come. Those little sunbonnets from the Sunshine State. Funny, Bubbles, and Beulah.
Every time I meet a guy who gets me shook,
Well, there he goes, he hardly knows the heart he's breaking. I talked to him, but I don't think he understood. Oh, just forget about the plans that we were making. Heart, we did all that we could. Y'all come up and see you sometime. You hear?
Yeah, as soon as I find a ladder, I'll be right up. There was blood on the sand and blood all around and a great big puddle of blood on the ground. On the mountaintop of Tennessee, greenest state in the land of the free. Raised in the woods, so she knew every tree. Tamed him a farm, he was only 3. Davy Crockett, king of the back frontier. Off in the woods, he's marching along, making up yarns and singing a song. It's perfect. And blood all around. He's big around the middle and he's broad across the rust. Running 90 miles an hour, taking 30 feet a jump. Ain't never been cornered, ain't never been treed. Some folks say he looks a lot like me. As you can see, we're just one big happy family. Well, folks, this concludes our show. So thanks for bearing with us to the bear end. What do you say, Sammy?
I said, y'all come back. Yeah?
All right, friends, grab your bare necessities and bear right.
Don't forget to gather your belongings.
And your husband, too. It's been good to have you. So long, folks.
And if you don't select anything, it just defaults you. And this time we're heading towards Liberty Square. I'm gonna pause it here. Pause. Hold on. Okay. Come back over here. And all right. I promised. This is the nice thing. You can pause it. You can go do some work, have some food, go to sleep, wake up, come back right where you left off, or you could start all over again. It's all up to you. Whatever the experience is in the Magic Kingdom that you want to have at that time, you can have it. If you come out of Country Bears, as Greg pointed out, I have a feeling Country Bear Jamboree isn't exactly Greg Dyke's favorite. And if that's the case, you also have the option to leave. You can exit at any point. If you wanted to say, you know what, I've had enough of Country Bears, no one's going to judge you. No one's going to judge you if you sit there and watch it again. Did you see that option came up? You can watch it again if you want. You can head up to Liberty Square, maybe ride Haunted Mansion. Maybe Liberty Bell Riverboat. Maybe you head the other direction and get on Thunder Mountain, and when you're finished Thunder Mountain, hop on the train and take the train over to Storybook Circus. That's right. You can not only get on the train and take the train ride, you can get off at the various stations and do your thing there too. You can go ride Barnstormer, Dumbo, Little Mermaid, Teacups even? Yes, Teacups even. There are 21 current attractions that are featured. There are some we don't have yet. Don't have Tron, Space Mountain, Carousel Progress. Some of these we're really not supposed to film, so we're not going to, probably. And of course, some we will get. And if they change, we'll capture it then, and you'll have the option to watch a different version of it, which is kind of all exciting. All right. So other things I talked about. Leave comments in the videos if you don't mind, letting me know if you encounter any problems, if you have any ideas, there's something you'd like to see. Maybe there's a direction you wanted to go, but you couldn't. There are some little nooks and crannies here. It's like, I can't get there. I almost get there. I can see it. I can't get there. If you encounter those spots, which you will, let us know, because we'll get it into 1.2. I saw that Chris Blagg asked how many of these are in 360. There's not a lot. All of the walk around video is traditionally filmed. There are some attractions that were filmed in 360. They are not presented in 360 because we wanted this to be able to transfer and translate to any device, television, etc. And when you make something, when you code it for 360, then when it's formatted for 360, it doesn't look right on the television. It gets a little weird, stretched out and everything. So maybe eventually we do a 360 version, a VR version, probably. So there's that. Zach, can I talk about the other things we talked about? Okay. There's a delay, so I won't see him say no. Halloween mode? Christmas mode? Night mode, maybe? How about transportation? Getting to the Magic Kingdom? Maybe eventually heading to another park. And no, it won't be coming anytime real soon, because this took a year. This took a year to put this together. But I promise you that Epcot will happen, and it will certainly happen faster than Epcot took to happen after Magic Kingdom opened, and certainly faster than even Tron took to build. So there's that. Colton says Tomorrowland Speedway, anyone? Mary says super amazing place for it. Thank you. I'm going to move this over here so it's not on top of the Choose Your Adventure. Thank you very much. Mike says, any restrooms for realism? No restrooms were filmed in this project, nor will they ever be. You can see some in the distance. I also thought it'd be fun to put in some little, in the future and this is kind of easy to pop in, and those moments, those little quiet moments of joy, if you want to pause and just kind of look at the waterfall, like in the Tangled bathroom area. Maybe you will be able to do that. I also said, I'm not going to tell you all the secrets. I'll save that for our cafe talk. I'm just super excited. I'm going to share. Okay, here's the thing. I'm going to share this with you, but it's a little conditional. This is free. It will always be free. This is kind of the premise of all this stuff, is about giving people unfettered access as much as possible to these parks. And that needs to be an experience that doesn't have any kind of, presents any limitations for somebody experiencing, right? That I would want 7-year-old Jason to be able to get to these videos. And so that's my commitment to you in that regard. The one ask I have, and yes, it is my birthday tomorrow, and I'm not saying that because I want the accolades and the happy birthdays. I'm fine with birthdays. It's fine. And I don't really I like getting gifts and stuff. I mean, if you want to send me a gift, it's fine. I'm not going to complain, especially if it's food. But most importantly, what I would ask for from you is the gift of sharing. That you share this with the world. You share this with those people you know love Disney. You share this with those people maybe who have trips planned to come here. Maybe it's the first time, and this would help them kind of determine which way they should go, what their kids may or may not like, whether an attraction's a little too intense, maybe a little too sleepy. Share it with your friends, share it with your family. Maybe you know somebody who has a condition that maybe they're unsettled by certain scenes or certain sounds or certain spectacles, and this is something that would be good for parents to be able to preview with their loved ones and be able to kind of help determine if they want to do something on an upcoming trip. Maybe there's that person in your life who's not a huge Disney fan, but it's because they have not experienced Disney like it can be experienced. Just kind of meandering, walking around, enjoying the spaces. Share it with them. Share it with whoever you think might appreciate it, and then share it with other people. That's my ask. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put it up on the screen. This is the QR code. Yes, I know, QR codes. It's a thing. You can take a picture of this. You can take a screenshot. You can also go to herewiththemagic.com/adventure, appropriately enough. That will take you to the Choose Your Own Adventure video series there. If you are watching on a mobile device, make sure you're watching in the app, in the YouTube app. That will give you the most control. That will also give you the experience you are intended to have. If you watch in a browser on your phone, things are just not going to work the same, probably. If you are on a computer, you're fine. And I've tested it in Safari. I've tested it in Chrome. I even tested it in Bing or Microsoft Edge or whatever whatever those people are calling that thing now. And it works there too. And I'm on the devices. We've tested on the television. But if you run into any issues, please let me know. Please let me know. This is version 1. And there will be bugs. There will be problems. And Zach pointed out to me this morning when I said, I'm just so nervous things won't work. He said, just remember that the pavement wasn't even dry. The cement wasn't even dry when Disneyland was about to open. And I know, but we've learned from that. We know better. No cement has to cure for this one. Okay. Mary says Edge. Yeah, I know. Okay, that's what it is. Microsoft Edge. That's it. We're a little over time anyway. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to do the thing that I haven't been able to do for a while. I'm going to reiterate that if you are not a member of the Facebook group already, it's free. You might as well head over, if you're on Facebook, go over to herewiththemagic.com/community. And, there are a bunch of fun people over there. Like Carlos Silva, who I just noticed is here. Carlos, buddy, great to see you. He says, send me the QR code, please. It's on the screen, Carlos. It's okay. He means the graphic. Okay, I'm with you. You can also head over to Instagram.com/herewiththemagic and engage there. A lot of fun stuff happening all over. And then, of course, there's the podcast. If you haven't checked it out already, I would love for you to listen. Head over to Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Search for Soundscapes by Here with the Magic. And I think that's it. My friends, thank you so much for being here with me and for going on a little adventure with me. And let's go down here. There we go. I think you're going to like it. Until I see you again next week, please be well, be safe. I will see you back here next Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern, where we'll be, as always, here with the magic. Good night, guys.